Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Market Action. My name is Glenn Tompkins, and on the right side of me is Patrick France, but he's off today, so it will only be me here for Market Action, but Patrick is here in spirit. All right, if you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear with no issues in the stream at this particular point in time. So, interesting day. Oh, someone says no sound. Joey, what are you doing? HK, can you hear me? Sigh. All right. I don't know what Joey did, but whatever he did, I think he undid it. There we go. The people are coming in with VV Nation, letting me know that I am. You can only hear Patrick. Hold on. Patrick ain't here.
That's a feature.
Huh?
That's a feature.
What feature?
That we can only hear Patrick.
No, that's no feature. Shalom. Hey, Lee, how are you? I'm glad you're here. All the way from Israel. I love that we have communications all across the world. So the market is just poopy today, straight up poopy. Roger let me know that he's tuning in from Arizona, where he still doesn't know who the governor is. And I think that the ambiguity that's going along in the market with what's going on with the Congress in determining who's in and who's not in is weighing heavy on the market today. Looks like the NASDAQ is down 2% now. So tech stocks leading the way, leading the charge to the downside, followed by the S&P 100 down almost 2% as well. The S&P 500 down about 1 6/10. The composite is down 1 3/10. Folks, this is not what you want to have happen after the market, after you have elections. But because of not knowing, again, who's in and who's out, the market is like, yo, what am I doing? And that's exactly what's going on right now. So real quick, before we get into the ins and outs of what's going on in the market, if you haven't already, hit the like button. If you need more time to see what's going on, hit the like button later. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be alerted to when new live streams come out. And last but not least, folks, if you really like the information that we bring to you as a company, do me a favor right now and share this live link with the people on your social circles. Whether you're in the United States or Lee, if you're in Israel, or no matter where you are, folks, do me a favor. Let's get more people in the room. Hit that or share that live link at the top there and let people know let other people know what we're doing so that maybe we can help them. You might make a change in someone's life. Think about that. All right. Tuning in from Twin Peaks in Duberville, Mississippi. There you go, Mark. My wife and I'm off on Friday, and I will be off next Monday, so there will be no midday market on Monday. My wife and I are going to Georgia, right outside of South Carolina, to Tybee Island. And then my wife says, hey, it looks like they're getting a hurricane. I say, it's all right, baby. We got this. All right, so share it on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. Tuning in, there we go. This market is extremely discouraging. I don't disagree with you, Kenneth. So the biggest reason why I think today the market is doing what it's doing is because of what's going on from the results of the election. Joey, put me on the main screen. As we look at what's going on our market, we're still full on yellow for the most part. So we still advocate caution when investing in the market at this time. The primary wave is up. So it was tough for me to pull the trigger in our jockey club on shorts. You never want to go against the primary wave, but it looks like 52.74. It looks like, man, we got a ways to go before we get another primary wave down. So I'm keeping that in mind. I'm looking at the portfolio for our day trading room, the jockey club, and I'm just thinking about, should I pull the trigger on the shorts? I just don't know. I don't want to go against the primary wave, but it's going to take a minute before the primary wave gets back to a point of being down. So a namaste to you too, Ravi. Glad that you're here. What's wrong with Cheniere Energy? Aladdin, oil is getting a little bit of a drubbing today. If we look at petroleum, look at this. The petroleum has been keeping the market afloat with these rallies. Petroleum drilling down over 5%. Look at this right here. Who just asked me that question? Aladdin. Look at this. Petroleum machine equipment down over 16% today. So oil is taking it on the chin today, big time. Petroleum, all of them are down. The other top industries are machine tools and building painting products. All of them are down. Our top 5 industries on a day like today is down. Primary wave not showing an up arrow. We got the primary wave today, and it won't show as an up arrow until it closes up today. Because it's up today makes it so that I don't want to pull the trigger to the downside for that reason. All right, so that's why it's not showing up there yet, Frank. Once it closes tonight with the primary wave, and it's going to be definitely most likely the primary wave will close to the upside, and if it does, then that's why. The dude's still hanging in there long. Yep. So if you saw the video last night that I put out, I'm giving some opportunities for some short-term speculative plays. If you want to see what they are, make sure you go check out the video. But look at this. As of right now, the Dow is down 500 points. But even with that happening, it's the NASDAQ that's pushing 2% down. DU is saying go. GLB saying stop. I'm doing nothing and letting the stops manage things. And Roger, I think that that's a smart thing to do. I think that that's a smart thing to do at this particular point in time. If interest rates are going up, commodities will go down. Interest rates have been going up, but I still think that oil still has some upside depending on how much oil we have in our reserves, how much oil we have as far as on a week-over-week basis, production, all of that stuff. I still think that the demand is going to still be high, but the supply is not going to be there. And most people, and I think correctly, that the biggest inflationary thing happens to be fuel. The other side of that is the other biggest inflationary thing happens to be food. All right, so take those two into effect. I still think that the demand for oil and for gas is still going to be there. So we'll just have to see. I still think we need to be patient with natural gas. I did a video on that as well. But it's just tough. Oil right now is tough a little bit, but it was rocking and rolling through all of these relief rallies. Right now, today, it is really, petroleum is taking it big. As a sector, it's down almost 4%. What do you think of DRV and FNGD? I still think that those are good plays given the market's conditions. There's a story that I showed, it must have been yesterday or somewhere along the line. Oh, no, I showed it today in the Jockey Club that mortgage rates are projected to even go even higher, which I still think bodes well for DRV, which is the contra for real estate. All right. Now, let me ask a question. Given what we've got going on right now, how many of you are still overall bearish in the market, type of 1? How many of you are still bearish in the market, type of 1? If you still feel that, the market still got some really good long-term upside for whatever the reasons, type A2 in the room. I just want to get a feel. I think that even with the story that I put out yesterday on some speculative trades, one of the biggest thing I said is that I think overall the market has got more downside. And there you go. Paul says no red wave. I think if that was the case, I think the market would have turned around bigly today. That's what I think. I think that more people still feel that there should have been, or that it needed to be, a change in leadership. Everybody's got the right to vote and vote the way that they want to, and let the people speak it, right? If the people feel that they want to keep the current administration or the current leadership in place, so be it. That's the people, right? Needless, I can't judge that. No, nobody in this room can judge that as well. All right. So I feel the way that I feel. You don't need to know how I feel. This ain't the place for that. Nor do I need to know how you feel. This ain't the place for that. So I'm putting all that out there because I still think that the overall, we still have a hawkish Fed. That is inflation. Inflation information comes out tomorrow. That's going to get some more insight on what the Fed's going to do in regards going forward. And if the inflation picture is not really getting better, I think that the terminal rate is going to be even higher than what he said. I'm looking at somewhere between 7 and 9% on the terminal rate. What are we sitting at now? Like 4 3/4 of the rate. I think we're seriously looking at 7 to 9. How many of you believe that as well? Type of me. How many of you believe that the terminal rate is going to be higher than what he stated? Somewhere, I think that somewhere between 7 and 9. Type of me. Type of me. I saw that, Kenneth. Not one, two. There was not one person that thought that we had some semblance of a market moving higher from now. But I think that the terminal rate he set, we're going to bypass that. I think that we're going to definitely bypass that. All right. So all of these things put together give a big overview of what, the market looks like. But these short runs that we are getting give some opportunities, but to make some money to the upside. And something, Tyree, I've been saying that for the longest time that we were going to get a 1 basis point. We haven't gotten it yet. I still think that we're in line for it. I think he's going to have to take off the gloves at some point in time and say, boom, let's go. Then he's going to have to stick and jab. Then he's going to throw an uppercut. Then he's going to throw a right cross. And, he's got to fight it. This is the only way he's going to be able to fight it. He's going to continue to raise the interest rates the way he goes. Should I sell? No limit. Listen, if I'm hoping that this is your first time here, because there's nothing that we've had for the longest time that said that you should be buying, at least nothing long term. Should you sell? Are your stops hit? That's what you got to answer yourself. Answer for yourself. Are your stops hit? The stops in your stocks, if they are, then then you sell. Other than that, I can't tell you. But at some point in time, you got to make the decision when enough is enough, especially if you're on the losing side. Should you buy a put on the SPY? That might not be a bad way to go. That may not be a bad way to go. I wouldn't mind doing that, especially if I know. Talking about that, let's go to the graphs. Let's go to the market timing graph. Let's go look at the last year. So the question came up, says, should I sell? That came from low limit. This is a 1-year graph of the market no limit. Does this answer your question? All right, that's all I got to, no limit. Does this answer your question? And we've been talking through all of this while we were every day, every week. This has been the trend of the market. Have we had some uptrends, some relief rallies? But I also want to let you know, no limit, all of these rallies were pretty much centered around energy and oil. And if you've got just two industries moving the market, there's no sign of a sustainable uptrend. No limit. Does that make fun? Does that make fun? I'm watching what that says here. Does that make sense? Short-term, 2 years treasuries for 60% of your money. Listen, treasuries are another issue. I keep getting the question is, what do we do to stop treasuries from blowing up? Nothing. Dan says it's a play on relative strength of currencies and economies. Strong economy and strong dollar means invest in America as you get stock gains and currency gains at once. Weak economy, weak dollar. We've got a weak economy, but we got a strong dollar. We got a weak economy. Well, I'm not going to call it a weak economy. We've got a shrinking economy. The Fed is trying to shrink the economy, and he's working in regards to that, except for the job market. We have a shrinking economy, but we still have a strong dollar. But we still have a Fireblazer says we have no stops. You have Fred Flintstone breaks. You don't want to do that. You want to have stops. Everybody in this room has got to have some stops. All right. So I did this for the purpose of no limit to give you an understanding of when you ask the question, should you sell? This is the market over the last year, definitely moving lower. Let's talk about some news that's affecting the market as well. And we'll start here. A major problem. The U.S. is now a record $31 trillion in debt. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute because that's an astronomically high, bigly bad number. $31 trillion in debt. Whether you agree or disagree with some of the laws that have come out spending the money, just let that number sit in. $31 trillion in debt and made worse by rising interest rates. Well, you know something? What do you do to combat inflation if you don't raise the interest rates? Just asking. I'm just asking for a friend. Now, here's the other side of this. And this is who holds the IOUs. All right, so let's break that down. Nope. Where was it? Oh man, where's the part of my story that told me that? Was there? Read more. There it is. There is a story continues. All right, where is it? So who owns America's national debt? All right, so think about having a credit card and a mortgage and a car payment. All debt, but different. The U.S. Department of Treasury manages the national debt. All right, that's the national debt, which is split into two different types: debt that one government agency owes another, and debts that are held by the public. Intragovernmental debt accounts for about $6.5 trillion of debt. Intragovernmental, back and forth within the government. A much bigger piece of the debt is held by the public. Right now, that's about $24 trillion is owned by the public. Foreign governments, as well as banks and private investors, state, held in the trade bills and bonds. Foreign governments and private investors are one of the biggest holders of the public debt, owning $7.7 trillion. But do we go back to this? The public owns $24 trillion. Good googly muggly. That's a lot of money. The Federal Reserve owns a lot of the government debt, the bonds and stuff. The Treasury does pay interest payments to the Federal Reserve, but then the Federal Reserve turns around and gives it back to the Treasury. That alleviates some of the issues. So you got to pay, part of the interest rates going up is when you pay back the money that you owe, you got to pay it at a higher interest rates, which increases the amount of money that you have to pay back. But the Treasury does pay interest rates to the Federal Reserve, but the Federal Reserve gives it back to them. So it's a net zero in regards to interest between the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. Yes, you don't want to own bonds if they default. What are the chances? I'll put that up there. What are the chances that our bonds default? Anybody? Do you think it's a high probability, type of 1? If you think it's a really low probability, type of 2. I want to know where your heads are at. Do you think that our bonds, that we will default on our bonds? Type of 1 if you think that our bonds are fine. Type of 2 if you think that we will default. Wow, interesting. I got a couple of people I got more people typing in 2. I got more people typing in 2 than I thought I would have had. You guys honestly think that we're going to default on our bonds? Interesting. We can't pay in dollars, says Michael. More 2s than I expected to see. Maybe I'm just an optimist and I'm going to give the government what's the word I'm looking for? I forget what I was getting ready to say. But whatever it is, maybe I'm just very optimistic, but a lot more 2s than I expected to hear or expected to see. Red Pill says, eventually we will. You see the options the second time you ask? Yeah, I do see the options the second time I ask. Wow. Red Pill says inevitably. Wow. All right. Maybe that's the word. Maybe I'm giving the government the benefit of the doubt. Oh, did I switch the options? Oh, crap. Joey, why didn't you keep me on top of the options? Sigh.
On top of the what?
Evidently, you wasn't listening. All right, so evidently I screwed up the question. The debt will never get paid. They borrow more and more every year, says Fireblazer. Maybe I'm just softy at heart. I just don't think that we're going to default on our bonds, but we'll see. It is Joey's fault, Mark. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to post that. I'm going to leave that up for the rest of the session, that it's all Joey's fault. I think that I want everybody to see that. I'm just going to leave it up there. Dan says, you will start making money when you stop listening to others and start learning yourself. You need to know the value of assets. Everything makes sense after that. I got you. All right. So that was my first story. Next story. Some investors bet the Fed could lift rates to 2-decade highs. That goes back to that whole idea of raising the interest rates to 1 full basis point at some point in time. But that's another story. Another one. How many of you have heard this? Meta to cut 11,000 jobs, which is about 13% of their workforce. So as we get deeper and deeper into this recession, yes, and I am going to call it a recession. I'm not going to switch it around or anything. It is a recession. What did I say? One of the things that was going to happen is that layoffs were going to come, and that was going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in really confirming that we are in a recession. And if you follow me on Twitter, I tweet out every time that I see more and more companies are about to cut jobs. It's a depression, not a recession. The Real Tech Geek, you know something? I'm not on board with that it's a depression. Listen, I've never lived through a depression. I know many of our grandparents did live through a depression. I don't think that this is anything like what they had to go through. Anybody agree with that? Do you agree? All right, so I'll make sure I don't get this wrong this time. Do you agree that we are in a depression, type of 1? If you don't believe that we are in a depression, type a 2. With everything that I've heard, remember, I didn't live through it. With everything that I've heard about being in a depression, I don't think this is it. I don't think that this is it. All right. Wow. So the 2s were if you thought that this was a depression, right? The 2 was if you thought it was a depression. You guys really think that this is a depression? That's wow. 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 Listen, and again, no answer is wrong. I'm just trying to get a feel. Wow, you really guys think that this is a recession is when you lose your house. A depression is when I lose mine. I ain't lost my house. And I'm not calling you a tool, Joey, but I'm going to say that a poor craftsman always blames his tools. What is that? Why are you messing with? Oh, no, I like you, Mark. That's right. You said it was Joey's fault. All right. And Andrea says, go talk to your grandparents. I think that that's where the conversation needs to be had to really talk about if this is a real depression or not. All right. The argument can be that this is a dead economy since 2008 due to the fact of bailouts. That's another way of looking at it. I really can't see this as a depression, folks. All right. And Red Pill says, we're not in a depression right now for the moment. Anything can happen, right? Next one, Disney. Now, I had done a story on Monday, I think on Midday Market, that there was anticipation that Disney would not do as badly as Paramount and Warner Brothers did when their earnings came out. And guess what? Disney misses earnings guidance badly as they put it on streaming. Streaming losses widen. And I think that as we are in this, no, Mark doesn't go in timeout. I'm the only one that can put people in timeout and out of timeout. Mark, you're good. You're not in timeout. Don't listen to Joey. You are not in timeout. I think that as we get further and further into this recession, that we have to sit back and say, you know, where are we cutting? And I think that the streaming services are feeling the effects, all of them. That all of them are feeling the effect. Cable is getting cut. Streaming services are getting cut because they're cutting back the fat. Next one. Lucid stock sinks on earnings miss, dropping reservations. So they got smoked, down about 18%. I found another story. How about this one? Lucid makes EV progress, but Tesla has a huge lead. So this was probably like a little bit of a positive spin or a bullish spin on it. But, you know, down to where the rubber meets the roads, they missed on earnings and they're dropping reservations. These cars right now, or the demand is still there, but if you cannot make the money and if you cannot supply the inventory, you're going to get hurt. Oh my gosh, Joey is not a tool. No, Joey's not a tool. Joey, you're not a tool. All right, energy clean is up. And that's fine. Understand that EVs are not the only thing that make up energy clean, right? In the 70s, where was interest when interest rates were 15%? That's a lot of interest rates, Fireblazer. That's high. Where was I in the 70s? 77, I was 10. So I didn't understand what was going on in the market then. I had no idea of what was going on in the market at that time. But keep your eye on Lucid. I'm not feeling that right now. Now, how many think that marijuana has a way to jump right now? I keep seeing marijuana stocks pop up, but marijuana legalization gains ground. But don't hold your breath for the stocks. So we're going to take a look at a couple of marijuana stocks. Airbnb market is completely crashed. 1.8 million vacant properties. Now, that's interesting as you bring that up, because how many of us are seeing the stories that airlines have record bookings, that cruise lines have record bookings, that hotels have record bookings, but Pure Quality Studios says Airbnb market is completely crashed, that we've got all of these 1.8 million empty properties. Interesting. And my question comes back to that: if we're in a recession, why are people traveling? Then we came up with the answer is that people are putting it on their credit cards. They'll pay now and worry later. But that story in Pure Quality Studios, I need to look into that, because I am trying to make heads or tails that if we're in a recession, why is discretionary money going to travel? Interesting. And I'm just trying to find out what that's all about. All right. If the money is not there and people are worried about paying more for food or dropping their streaming services, how are they spending the money, that capital, to go and travel? Energy says interested in weed stocks. So we're going to take a look, a couple of those, but I want to look at the whole industry. I want to look at the whole industry as well. And last but not least, before we go in, further into the stories, I do want to do this. Is Joey putting his vacations on Glenn's credit? No, bet not. Hey, Joey, do you got my credit card number? Because we're not in a recession yet, Glenn says. Scott, ooh, you think we're not in a recession? I think we're straight up in a recession. I think that we are. I think, hi, Eddie. I think that we are straight up in a recession. But economic depressions are characterized by abnormally large increases in unemployment, which we don't have yet, right, Chris? Falls in the availability of credit. I don't think that anybody has a lack of availability of credit. Shrinking output as buyers dry up and suppliers cut production. So that's a depression. For all of you who said that we're in a depression, do we meet any of those criteria? Especially in the big jump in unemployment. We're not there. Companies are still looking for people. They're just not able to find them. And even though, and don't get me wrong, because I just talked about Meta cutting back on 13% of its staff. A lot of bigger companies are starting to go through that, because with our rising interest rates, it is affecting the bottom line. So just wait. Twitter layoff, Meta layoff, etc. It hasn't happened all yet, though. Once that happens, that will be one of the characteristics that Chris just put up there. But what about falls in availability of credit, shrinking output as buyers dry up? I don't think we still have that right now. Not yet. So, Chris, thank you for the definition. I just don't think that we're at that point just quite yet. I would keep my kids at home until this blows over. Different world we live in. I could see my children going into, listen, there's a lot of, how about this? Let me step back a little bit. Each generation has its moments that they've got to do and make changes based upon what's going on in the current time frame. That happens in each and every generation. All right. Our grandparents' generation was the whole idea of the depression. Our major one was the dot-com bubble, and then 2007, 2008, the housing crisis. So there's so much that goes on, and I won't doubt it that in our generation, we've seen a lot of jacked up stuff. Can I get an amen for that? In our current lifetime, we've seen a lot of jacked up stuff that we've had to, get ourselves out of. All right. And that's us living right now, not talking about what our grandparents did, not talking about what our parents, our parents went through the whole state of stuff that they had to deal with. But we had 9/11. We've had the dot-com bubble. We've had so much jacked up stuff happening in our own lifetime. Does that supersede what everybody else is going through? No. We're Americans. We do what we got to do, but at some point in time, you got to pay the piper. And I don't know if we're at that point where right now we've got to truly pay the piper, because this is some bad stuff. You know, I am of the mindset, and this is me way, way out there. I'm thinking that with everybody printing money the way that they have, I think that we're setting up for a global reset. What does that mean? What does that look like? I'm not sure. But that's just an opinion in my piece, in my mind, because everybody, all of the major countries have been printing money to overcome what they're going through. So I don't know what a global reset looks like. I don't know that, but we'll see. Nationally, inventory remains negative 37% below pre-pandemic levels. Thank you for that, Dan. Fact. Home sales are drying up, therefore no lending, no new furniture, etc. in those new homes. Thank you, Kenneth. So switch to central bank digital currency. That's going to be another whole thing that gets talked about as well. Red Pill says global reset, no more easy life. So again, I'm just trying to spur up some conversation up in here. I know that you guys come to hear me and Patrick talk and look at our lovely faces. But I think some of these conversations need to be had. And if you agree with that, hit the like button. Hit the like button. You know, we're not here to talk about, hey, this stock is great, go buy it, or da-da-da-da. Do we give some stock for you to look at? Absolutely. But I love that our channel interacts with our subscribers and talks about some things that you don't talk about anyplace else. Right? You don't talk about any place else. So again, if you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to hit the like button. Hit that like button. And man, the people are going down. Am I losing your interest? I might be. All right. I think I'm going to have to speed this up if I can't keep you here. Next thing. Patrick talked about this yesterday on the VectorVest store. Joey's going to put a link up to this. It's a brand new grand opening. Save 15% on all merchandise. All right, 50. That's big. That's nicely bigly. 15% on all merchandise. Joey, put the link up in there for me if you can. I think it's www.vectorvest.com/VV store. VV store. All right. Again, I'll say it again until Joey puts it up in here. www.vectorvest.com/VV store. Thank you for that. Red Pill says, what did you just say? Pure says, if you guys appreciate Glenn's insight, drop a 1 in the comments. Thank you for that, Pure. I appreciate that. All right. If you do not buy anything, you save 100%. Wow. You know what that gets, Fireblazer? That gets the crickets. And then you know what else that gets? That gets the funny laugh as well. I like the funny laugh. All right. But that's true. If you don't buy anything, you save 100%. Anyway, but if you do want something, saves 15%. Let's do this. Let's go right here where it says, now there's a lot of things that go here. You can get a trial here from the store. You can look at some education here from the store. But I'm going to take you to apparel and accessories. All right. Apparel and accessories. The real interest rate right now, I think, is sitting at about 4.75%. Somebody back me up on that. Is that not the interest rate? 4.75? Somebody back me up on that. I think that is what it is. I'll get somebody in VV Nation and let me know if that's right or not. But I think it's 4.75. Mug. Mark, don't type mug in the room. Don't start. I'm about to put you in non-VIP timeout. But talking about mug, you can buy a mug right here. You can buy them. Is it the interest rate? You saying it's more like 20%? Am I off? Am I way off in what I thought? Again, that's why I'm asking you guys to back me up on that. What is the real interest rate? Because Red Pill wants to. I'm thinking it was at that 4.75. As far as with tell that to my credit card company. That's a whole different story. The credit card company is a whole different story. But if you want to buy a mug, you can click on it. Now, when you click on it and you start to fill out, it gives you a look at what it is. Look at this, microwavable safe, and it's dishwasher safe. High quality ceramic. 14% is the real rate. Thank you for that, John. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, John. Again, I wanted to know what you guys, I thought it was 4.75. But the real rate, he's putting that out there in California, it's 7.24 for us. That's on mortgages though. That's the mortgage rate. Kenneth said 3.75. I'm gonna find out. And before my next live stream, I'll give you a better answer. You can click it when you go to add it to your cart. All right. Now, when you go to view cart, the 15% gets taken off when you go to check out of the store. All right. So you don't have to worry about it. When you go to all your items that have we'll automatically take the 15% off right here. But let me show you some other cool stuff. How many of you play golf? How about that? Got a ladies golf shirt. We've got a men's cotton knit polo. We got a hat. We got stuff for men and women, folks. We got stuff for men and women. I've got one, not one of those. Joey has one of those. The ladies VectorVest Raglins. Yeah, Joey's got one of those. But no, he doesn't. I got a men's embroidered fleece. Again, if you click on it and go to checkout, you get 15% off. I'm thinking I might want to get this. That looks kind of cool. A Leatherman jacket. So the store has got a lot of cool stuff in it. Bags. I own one of these as well. I've worn this on stream. That link doesn't work. So I asked Joey to put the link in the chat, but he didn't. I'm going to try it again. Let's do it this way. Let's go www. He didn't. VectorVest.com/VV store. Now, my internet is broke because Joey did something to my computer. All right, so let me go shopping on. You know what you did. I didn't do what? Don't even start that, Joey. Don't even. I will come. Oh man, I will. Ooh, and I'm gonna come over, and you're gonna be limping back. All right. Again, my internet is acting a little bit slow. We'll see if that pops up. But that's the store. I want to make sure that the link works. Joey did put the link up there. So you can click on it, folks. Go check it out. Again, it's because it's the grand opening of the store. Paul says, VectorVest, you posted a YouTube link. There it is. So it did open up. So the VV store did open up to the website. So www.vectorvest.com/VV store. And it does take you right back to the page that I was at. All right, go check it out, folks. We got a lot of cool stuff here, hats and bags and water stuff and things. And yeah, it's kind of cool. And again, you could take a trial here if you're brand new. You can sign up for some coaching. And again, all of the stuff that we've got. All right. I would buy the ladies golf shirt, but my wife won't give me. What? I don't know. I don't know what that says. I don't know what it's supposed to say. I'm not looking. La 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 la. I'm not looking. I'm so not looking. Hey, Joey, I just played the air horn because he can't hear the stuff. I just played the air horn. All right. So that's all of the news that I got. Again, look at today's information. Big down day in the market, a little bit. I almost want to call that a shooting star yesterday, follow through the day. The market may have some more ways to go to the downside. I'm not looking at the DTI, Kenneth, because I don't have everybody in here that's part of the Derby, so I'm not giving that away. All right, but I can clearly see on the VectorVest composite a big down day today. I'm watching the 3 and the 8 on the market as well. All right, let's go to the viewers tab. Here's my picks. Well, the stocks that I looked at, Meta, I will definitely be bearish on. Interesting that even with Meta laying off folks, people like it. Maybe because it's affecting the bottom line to the upside. But at 5.2, that's the only stock in here that's up. Here's my 2 marijuana stocks. I wanted to look at 2 from you, but I wanted to do this. All right, what is the Derby? Don't start, Mark. What is moving today? Let's before I talk about that. Let me look at the industry. Let's go look at view the industry graph for marijuana. All right. Healthcare marijuana. Let's go put this on a 6-month graph. All right. Let's go see what it looks like. And I want to do this for the purposes of those people that say, hey, I see a stock moving in marijuana. Is it time to buy it? This is the industry, folks. How many of you feel comfortable buying marijuana stocks right now? Type of 1 in the room. Type of 2 if you're not comfortable. Now, I will say I like the earnings per share. Earnings per share looks good. I do like the rising RT. But if I look at the industry coming off of a level of resistance at 1.37, I'm not comfortable buying it yet. You guys are saying, yes, you're ready to buy it? Good Lord, have mercy. Y'all want to buy some marijuana stocks? Does anything tell you it's okay to do that? Or is this a feeling? All right. Do you see anything telling you that, or is it just a feeling? Type it in the room. I got nothing telling me to do it now. It's retracing from a level of resistance. I'm watching the 3 and the 8. 2 needs to break out of this possible accumulation period. I see that. You know what I'm looking for before I think about taking a marijuana pick? Let's let it see if it can break above that level of resistance. That's a solid level of support resistance right here. Fireblazer says it's because we want to get higher. Listen, this is why I'm looking at the industry. I don't want you guys to go out there and haphazardly go start buying marijuana stocks, and it ain't time to yet. Look at it. That's the industry. All right, let's make this a little faster. Let's bring it down to a 3-month. Same scenario. Bring it down to a 1-month. I'm not saying that it's the right time to buy marijuana stocks yet. Not when I'm watching it out of the last 4 days. It's gone down 3 out of the last 4 days. You see a 3 and 8 in 3/8 signal to sell. Absolutely. Now, that's another thing. If that crashes down below as an industry, I'd wait for the 3/8 to go back up. It's still holding right now. But nothing outside of what you hear outside in the world, nothing is telling me it's okay to buy marijuana stocks right now. I'm just putting that out there. All right. So what else is in here? Disney, they missed. I'm going to be bearish on that going forward for the week. And Lucid, I'm going to be bearish on that going. Actually, there's nothing here that I'm bullish on going into the week. All right, let's graph all of these stocks real quick. There's Meta. Put this on a 3-month graph. We'll start looking at Meta. Don't let your money go up in smoke. I agree with that. For everybody who's telling me that it's okay to buy into marijuana stocks, folks, that's on you. I'm showing you the facts. That's all I can do. You guys are going to do what you want to do, and I respect that. I'm just saying that I don't think it's the right time to be buying into marijuana stocks. Even with some of the states legalizing marijuana, there's nothing as an industry telling me it's okay. That's me. Disney is in Neverland land. Yeah, it is true. Too much off-brand competition. There's a lot of people trying to sell weed, right, Joey? Are you listening? Joey?
No.
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that at all?
I had you muted.
Or whatever. And looking at the earnings per share on Meta, it's just falling. There's nothing good about Meta. I'm looking at marijuana stocks. Look at all that give back. Nice bump up today, but look at all that give back. Look at all that. And this is what you guys get caught up on and go, whoa, I'm going to go buy it. And then this happens and you go, what the flying flip just happened? What the flying flip just happened is that the industry is not ready to go yet. That's all I got to say. I do like the earnings, though. I do like the rising earnings. It's still lower than it was 3 months ago, but I do like the rising earnings. RT is below 1. What else? There's Tilray. Same kind of scenario. A lot of give back. 2 marijuana stocks that looked good today and now don't look so good today. All right. The earnings per share on Tilray, though, if I were to buy, I do like the earnings per share nicer on Tilray. Disney earnings play. Put that on. That's an earnings play. It's been falling even prior to the earnings play. Disney may have an uphill battle, and a lot of social stuff going on with them as well that I'm not going to get into could be affecting them in an adverse way. And Lucid, man, the earnings per share are pretty solid here, but if you can't keep up and make the cars and you're not making money, this is what's going to happen. Overall, prior into the earnings as well, I still like the EV space. I think that the demand is picking up for EVs, that it's a place for you to make money, but you gotta pick and choose the right cars to get into. Joey, put me on my end screen. Right at 2:45. All right. Patrick wasn't here, but he was here in spirit. Don't forget, on Friday, Patrick is doing the trade for charity. Support him. It's a good cause to help some less fortunate children going into the holiday season. He's put a lot of work into it, so I'm only asking that VV Nation go support him. The introduction of our new store, 15%, folks. You can't beat that. Well, you can beat that, but You ain't getting more beat than that. 15% off. I took you through it, what you can do. Support that as well. How many likes did we get today, Joey? Did we get to 100? Why did you do it that? Why are you doing that? 61 likes. All right, let's go see if we can get 100 likes before we leave. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. For all those people who are brand new to the channel and it was worth it for you to spend your time here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for being here. All I'm going to say going into tomorrow, I think until the Congress thing plays itself out, the market is going to be doing more of this downward push. All right. So just keep your heads off the swivel. Make sure you have stops in place, not your Flintstone stops. All right. Not your Flintstone stops, but I want your portfolios to take off. All right. I want your portfolios to take off. The CPI comes out tomorrow. Absolutely. I think that I will be on when it comes out at 2 o'clock on YouTube. Patrick will be on YouTube tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So, folks, we provide you with a lot of great content all throughout the week. Don't lose sight of that as well. 72 likes. It is what it is. With that, Flintstone stops. Yeah, somebody, no limit. Somebody says they don't use stops. They use the Flintstone cars. How did they stop? They stuck their feet under the car to stop. Remember that? That's what I meant by that. What time is CPI tomorrow? I don't know. I think, is it at 2? Let me go see. It's gonna take me forever for this to come up, right? Investing.com. Once that comes up, what time does it come out? Anybody? Please don't say that Patrick was here in spirit. Sounds like he's dead. Is it 7:30 in the morning? For now, it's time now. What is that for? I think it would. Thank you, guys. Insight, entertaining as usual. Yeah, Joey, can you get to investing.com on your computer or somebody? I thought it was at 2 o'clock. Is it in the morning? Or it might be at 10:30. It might be at 10:30. It might be on while I'm doing the Jockey Club. I just wanted to see if I could get Joey, can you get to investing.com on your computer? Never mind, I don't need you.
Can you give me a second? Jeez.
No.
Yes, I can.
I don't need you now.
Well, great.
Let's go look at tomorrow. CPI comes out at 8:30. CPI comes out at 8:30. Thank you for that, Eton, and for Jeff. It's at 8:30. Joey, you're a no help to me at all. At all. Just let me know.
Same.
No.
Feelings mutual.
The feeling is not mutual because
Yeah,
I am like
you don't help me out.
I am like the sunshine of your life when it comes down to that.
Well, that's debatable.
That's not debatable. Joey, you know I love you like a brother. All right, folks, we're out of here. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Still praying for those people in Florida and in Puerto Rico. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks, see ya.